Okay, hello and welcome back. So in this section, we're going to talk about the form pop-up manager. All right, so you've probably seen a pop-up before, an example of a pop-up, for example, this one. So, if you see my mouse cursor and I try to exit the page or close the page or whatever, you see the pop-up window comes up. It's got animation, all kinds of things. It's really cool. That's an example of a pop-up, and I created this within the Leads Leap system. All right, that's what we're going to talk about. Another example of a pop-up is, let's say, you've got a pop-up here in our editor. That's what it's going to look like. It could be a form on there or whatever. But let's say you've got a lead capture page. Okay, this is the page we made in the previous video, in the previous training on learning how to create a page. Let me just preview this page. And I've actually set up a pop-up in this page. This is another example. When you click the button, the box comes up, and then they fill in the details in there in the form, and they click and they go on to the next page. They can optionally close it if they want to. If they click it again, it comes up again. Okay, so this is what we call a two-step opt-in form. It's really simple to do. There are a number of other ways you can create pop-ups, such as if they scroll down the page and at a certain point in the page, it triggers the pop-up or whatever. You can use pop-ups on external sites outside of Leads Leap, or you can use it on your own existing built-in pages within Leads Leap. It's up to you where you want to put it. You can also use pop-ups on other tools within Leads Leap, such as stuff that we've already gone over, such as the, for example, the tracking links, the rotator, the ad bars, and stuff like that. Well, tracking links, you can use pop-ups. Okay, so anyway, let me just show you. Okay, so what you would do, exactly the same as in the previous things. If you want to create a pop-up, you just create a new campaign, just like you would with a page or an email list. You click the blue button again, and you create a page. It'll ask you for the name of the pop-up. You just call it whatever you want. In this case, I've created a test form that I've already made for you, and you can open the editor. So launch editor in the same way as you would with a page, and then it's all the same drag and drop editor. You just put it in there. You can move everything around. You can add images. You can do all kinds of things. In this case, I've got a form in here. Now, when you first enter the editor for the first time, you're going to be presented with a light box. Okay, so you're going to be presented with your template as to how your pop-up is going to look. You can choose Lightbox. You can choose a full screen option. You can choose a sidebar or a corner block. Okay. Most common is Lightbox. All right, so that's by default. Then they'll ask you for a template. You can choose one of the existing templates. You can also import a share code. You would have been asked for a share code. That would have been an option when you create the form. Just to show you how that would look, let me just go back. So if you create a campaign, create just whatever just name it whatever you want. My pop-up. Okay, anything you want. Just call it my pop-up 1. Okay, add that in there. And then it would ask you add a new add a pop-up. You can add one from a template, or you can add one from a share code. If you import a share code, it's something that your sponsor or somebody has created the pop-up for you, and it'll import the pop-up into your system, and you import. It's really that simple. Or you just create from a template, and what you would see on the very next page is you would simply see something like this. Choose a Lightbox, then choose a template. I've chosen this particular one. I deleted the background from this, and then I'm left basically with this kind of simple pop-up. You can decide how you want to activate it. If you wanted an exit pop-up, you would need to click activate on exit. So there are various triggers. For this one, I'm using the manual on-click option because I want them to click a button. So I'm using this, and then you can choose animation. You can decide whether they want a hard bounce or a fade in or whatever you want there. You can hide the Leads Leap brand if you're a pro member, and there are some other things as well. You can preview it over here, full demo or quick demo, and click save. You've got a user guide here. Really easy to use user guide, and all your elements over here, so you can add in sort of images and stuff like that into here and drag it around. I've got a form in here, so that's what I've created there. So you just click save once you're happy with it, and then it's all in here. I haven't added anything here, so that this is what we're working with here, the test form. Okay, so that's what we're working with, and then if you've got your own page already added in, so like for example, not this page. Okay, this is the page that we were using before in our previous tutorial when we were creating pages. What I've done is I've deleted the form in here because I want to do a kind of what we call a two-step opt-in. What this means is that there's no form on the main page, but instead the form appears when they click the button and a little pop-up window opens up and they can fill in the form. So what you would do is you'd select the form, and instead of submitting the form, because there's no form here, you go down and you select the option with initiate pop-up campaign. Okay, and initially it won't have the ID in there, but what you need to do, you've got a little tutorial here that will tell you where to go. So the page, go back to the page manager. Okay, and where you've got your what we're doing here. So this, oh man, this is the one at the top. So my new page, this is the one we created. You select the pencil icon and you drop that down, and then you insert a pop-up. Okay, I've already selected it for this page, and I'm just selecting the test form and I'm clicking save. So that's why that's going to work. Okay, so here's the page again, and I'm going to just preview this. Okay, so when you click the button, the pop-up window pops up. Okay, it's as simple as that. As I've shown you already, this is an exit pop-up. If you wanted an exit pop-up, you just it just looks like this. Okay, and I click here and I can go to a URL or whatever. You just set it in there. But how you do that? So if you wanted an exit pop-up, rather than having it there, you don't need to set that. This would be something else. Or let me just okay. Well, an exit pop-up would just simply mean that you would have to go back to the form editor, and instead of selecting manual, you'd have to set on exit. Okay, on exit, and then you click save. Okay, so in this case, it'll open up. But obviously, if it's an exit pop-up, you probably wouldn't have the form necessarily. You would have a button instead, but it's up to you. So you take out the form and you just have a button there. And instead of having the opt-in form, you just select go to a website. Okay, simple as that. All right, and then you would save it, but you'd still need to go to the page manager, and where you've got your page, you'd need to click on the pencil icon to drop down the settings and then go to the bottom where it says insert pop-up, and you would still need to select that so that it knows what pop-up to deal with, and then because you've already set the pop-up in the editor here as an exit pop-up instead of a manual click pop-up, it's going to simply execute, on exit instead. All right. So that's basically how the pop-up system works. It's really that simple, and it's a great way to get extra leads, to draw more attention to your leads, so that you can potentially get more likelihood that they're going to take action with your offer. I'm not going to go over the cookie generator there because that doesn't mean anything, and I don't believe there's anyone who's actually using that. I don't even know why they've got that in there. There are reasons for it, but I don't use that system. So that concludes this particular option. You can also get the code from here. Oh, hold on, not there. So this is a pop-up that we've created. So you can get the code from here. And then you can select an external system. If it's another website that you're managing, you can simply drop that down, and you can simply copy the code here and put it on an external website. If you're using WordPress, you can download the plugin and then install the plugin into your WordPress back office, and then you can use the pop-up on your WordPress site. That's for people who are using external websites. But if you're not using an external website, just ignore that. So that's really it. I mean, you can check, there are other things like, there are a few other things like you use on click or whatever. You can put that into a specific button or something like that. But there are a few other things. Now, what I recommend you do is you go to the tutorial and then just go over this, how to import it with a share code, how to create a form pop-up, how to create an inline form, how to link a pop-up form to a SendSteed list or whatever. There are so many things that you can do, whatever you need. You don't need to go through all the tutorials. Only if you've got something that you need to figure out or understand, you can just search for something and it'll explain how that thing works or whatever. But that's basically how a pop-up form system works. All right, see you in the next training, guys. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.